We are never getting another studio album from Rihanna. Rihanna is a legend in 21st century music. She has a versatile, extensive career that has spanned multiple decades after she was discovered in her home country of Barbados 2003 by American producer Evan Rogers, who helped her create demos that would be sent to record labels. The demo included Ponde Replay. Eventually, Jay-Z got hold of the demo, invited Rihanna to audition for him in Def Jam, and the rest was history. Ponde Replay was released in the summer of 2005 as her debut single and made her a star. She released her debut album, Music of the Sun, which is heavily influenced by her Caribbean style. Then, after the success of that single and album, she got right back in the studio and less than a year released her second album, which included her first number one hit, SOS. And she just couldn't stop winning after this. She released her third album, Good Girl Gone Bad, and she lived up to her album title because this was the first time we've seen Rihanna in a brand new look. She got rid of her Caribbean clean pop princess look image, and no one could say that she was a new Beyonce or a Caribbean Beyonce anymore. She looked edgier and sexier with a short bob cut. She now started to resemble a rock star, and this album really stamped Rihanna as a full-fledged superstar, as Umbrella became one of the biggest hits around the world with its catchy chorus, Ella, Ella, being sang by people everywhere. Umbrella became the second biggest song of the year behind Queen Bee's Irreplaceable, which was the number one song of 2007. First, I think we need to acknowledge Rihanna's work ethic and consistency. This woman recorded and released 3 full studio albums in 2 years. That is insane, like y'all don't get it. A studio album is truly so much hard work for the artist and the label. Generally, you'll see artists work for several months to a couple years on a record, finish it, spend 6 months setting up the release, and then ride on that album for around 2 years. These 2 years will comprise of heavy touring, lots of press, album promo, and creative work on a new record. She did all of that 3 times in 2 years. 2 years, y'all. Like, give her her flowers. After these 3 albums, there was no way you was gonna get rid of Rihanna. Her next album, Rated R, seen Rihanna's image get even more darker. As her hair got shorter, half her head was shaved, and she looked like even more like a rock star. As she had hits like one of my favorite songs, Come Here Rude Boy, Boy, Can You Get It Up, Rude Boy, as she stays true to her Caribbean roots. Rihanna was still on fire, and we could see another evolution of the musical chameleon as she transformed her sound and image once again, as she constantly rocked red hair and made huge noise, with her best album up to that time, Loud. With this album, Rihanna brightened up her image, dived straight into the pop trend of the early 2000s, and created mega pop smashes. Loud really was pop music perfection, as it included colossal pop hits like Only Girl in the World, What's My Name, and S&M. These hits really took over the world and were perfect for the times because pop music was really at its peak at the time, with pop superstars like Justin Bieber, Katy Perry, and Kesha ruling the charts. Talk That Talk and Unapologetic were then released in 2011 and 2012, and Rihanna kept selling millions, with hits like Diamonds, We Found Love, Where Have You Been, and Pour It Up. She also had a successful fragrance line, with Rihanna releasing 4 albums 2009, 2010, 2011, and 2012. She did that in 4 years. She did the same thing she did in 2005, 6, and 7 when she released a new album every single year. And she was constantly touring, doing press, and working so hard. Man, this woman was really a force to be reckoned with and trendsetter in the music industry, constantly changing her look, style, and sound to make everyone love her. After Unapologetic, Rihanna finally took her first break from releasing the studio album the next year. She released singles here and there, but it wasn't until 2016 that she released her best album, her magnum opus, her most in-depth body of work. That body of work was Anti. Anti is an alternative R&B album that has pop and dancehall influences. Rihanna stated that this album will be soulful and timeless, and Anti is just that. Songs like Love on the Brain seem Rihanna as soulful as ever, as it sounds like it came out of the 1950s and 1960s. Needed Me is an electro R&B hit, which became her longest charting song on the Hot 100, and was the ultimate kiss-off to an ex. Kiss It Better was an 80s throwback R&B synth rock song that has an electric guitar solo in it that is literally uplifting, also sounding like something that Prince could have connection to or made if he was in the 80s again. And the album's biggest hit that reached number 1 for 9 weeks straight, Work, which is a dancehall reggae song that makes you feel like you at a Jamaican festival. This album really symbolized who Rihanna was as an artist, and it is a timeless masterpiece. During this time, Rihanna was also honored with one of the most coveted honors in music, the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award at the 2016 VMAs, and she did a huge medley performance through the band show. This album was so good and so Rihanna that she didn't need to release another body of work after this, which is what takes me to our main topic. Rihanna will 9 times out of 10 not be releasing another album. And honestly, I don't think she needs to. This woman worked her ass off for years, staying at the top of her game, constantly releasing massively successful studio albums back to back after year, going on tours, doing wild amounts of press, sponsorships, fragrancy lines, appearing in movies, being in a highly publicized toxic relationship with Chris Brown. She was feeding us for over a decade with not just music but content. Give this woman a break. Then she became a billionaire by founding one of the biggest beauty brands in the world, Fenty Beauty. Then she has a successful lingerie line. She headlined the Super Bowl, which I think was a perfect farewell to music because she highlighted her biggest hits on one of the biggest, most anticipated musical stages in the entertainment world. Now, she has 2 kids, which is a whole career within itself and a time-consuming, beautiful experience that I think she should enjoy as a wonderful mother. I get it. We love Rihanna and she really is a legend, an icon. But y'all, she saturated the market for years. She's given more than enough. Rihanna has become the second best-selling female artist of all time, behind Madonna, and has even been called the Black Madonna for her consistency, reinvention, and versatility. Rihanna has become an iconic figure in the 21st century, selling 250 million units worldwide, attaining #1 hits, and having an impact on the game that is immeasurable. She has succeeded in business, music, and now motherhood. She does not have to prove anything anymore with her music. She's Rihanna, and that is enough.